Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a great week so far. Hopefully you saw my news post from earlier today, and as promised, this is a video to better explain in a little bit more detail the instructions for portfolio assignment number 3. And I know that you've had a lot of papers to write this semester, lots that's due between Learn Smart and discussions, but I promise this is the last paper that you will write. And I hope that you enjoy portfolio assignment number 3 because so often we're always told, oh, you need to limit this food, you're getting too much of this. But in the case of vitamins and minerals, it's really interesting to see how easily we can fall short of our needs. And that's essentially what you're going to be doing with portfolio assignment number 3 is looking at your own intake of vitamins and minerals based on your spreadsheet report and then identifying areas where you might be falling short. Where you'll find the instructions for portfolio assignment number 3 will be in module 3. Come down here to portfolio assignment number 3. And essentially the instructions are listed under the module 3 worksheets. It's that micronutrients and water worksheet, which I'm going to pull up right here. And as you can see, what you're going to be doing is looking at, like I said, vitamins and minerals that you may not meet your needs for. And what you're going to go through and do is identify 2 of those vitamins and minerals that you may fall short on, and state the functions of them, how your low intake might affect your risk for disease, maybe deficiencies, for instance. Noting the recommendations for each of these vitamins and minerals, food sources of those vitamins and minerals, and just becoming more familiar with those vitamins and minerals themselves so that you can actually improve upon your eating habits to make sure that you're meeting all of your needs. One thing that I do want to mention too is that a lot of you did include your fluid intake with your spreadsheet reports when you completed your nutrition calc reports. For those of you that maybe didn't record your fluid intake, you might want to keep track for a couple days. I'm not going to grade it. You don't need to log it into nutrition calc, but just be mindful of how much fluid that you're consuming on a daily basis. And again, you'll compare your intake to what's recommended. So those are the instructions right there, and essentially you're going to write this out all in an essay form. And when it comes to the recommendations for each nutrient, probably the best place to look for that is going to be the charts that are listed under the Module 3 worksheets. So let me pull those up. And as you can see here, we've got this vitamin RDA AI table and mineral RDA AI table. I've got printed copies right here that I'll show you versus pulling them up. But what it does is it'll actually list out the recommendation. And if you remember, not every vitamin mineral has the exact same recommendation. From chapter 2, when you read about the dietary guidelines and the dietary reference intakes, that's kind of an umbrella term. If you're interested in reading more about them, it's found on pages 61 through 63 of your textbook. But with the dietary reference intakes, it includes both the recommended dietary allowance and the adequate intake. And with the recommended dietary allowance, that essentially refers to how much of a particular nutrient will meet the needs of the majority of the population, based on the fact that there is quite a bit of research available. Whereas with an adequate intake, there's not quite as much research available on that particular nutrient. It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less. Make sure though, when you identify those particular vitamins and minerals that you want to talk about in your paper, that you correctly identify whether it's an RDA recommendation or an adequate intake recommendation. And those are all going to be listed on both that vitamin and mineral RDA AI table. Now you're probably wondering what this vitamin and mineral chart is, so let me go ahead and I'm going to open this one up. It gets really tricky with vitamins and minerals, and the way your book explains them is it basically goes through, vitamin and mineral A through Z. Here's the functions, here's the food sources, here's how much you need. And so it can get kind of confusing, and it's so much information. And I promise I'm not expecting you to know every single vitamin and mineral, each of its functions, how much you need, all of the food sources. That's a lot of information, but I want you to know kind of just the basics overall and where to go to reference the correct information. But what I like about this chart right here, this functional approach to vitamins and minerals, is that it actually groups vitamins and minerals according to their function in the body. So for example, if you're worried about your bone health, what are those nutrients that you might want to pay closer attention to? And so you'll look and see on this chart right here, we've got, first of all, vitamin D, vitamin K, we scroll down further, vitamin A, and then we get into the minerals, calcium, obviously, phosphorus, and magnesium, and fluoride as well. And what's so great about this chart is it actually lists out, what that particular vitamin and mineral does to support bone health or blood health or an antioxidant, whatever the case might be, as well as good food sources, deficiency effects, and toxicity effects. So this is a really handy tool. I know it's a long chart, good, I believe 20 pages or so, but I think you'll find it really helpful, and it might be a really good chart to reference in addition to those Module 3, under the Module 3 worksheets, these tables, this vitamin and mineral table right here as well, that should make it a little bit easier for you as you write your third portfolio assignment. And like I said, I know it is a lot of information, but I just kind of want you to be, just have a general understanding of, for instance, with the case of bone health, what are those vitamins and minerals that are going to be important? And if you find that when you're looking at your spreadsheet report, it's not going to list out absolutely every single vitamin and mineral out there, a really good place to, you can look at your spreadsheet report and see your intake of various vitamins and minerals. A lot of students have had luck looking at the bar graph report. That'll actually list out various vitamins and minerals and what percentage of the DRI that you meet. And so that's a really good place to first identify where you might be over or under with certain vitamins and minerals. Now, if you find that, for example, you meet your needs for all vitamins and minerals, that's fantastic. And so you're like, well, what am I supposed to write my paper on? Well, one thing that you could do is maybe look at vitamins and minerals that you exceed the recommendations, and perhaps, look at, definitely in your paper list out, the functions, your requirements, whether it's an RDA or AI for that particular vitamin and mineral. But maybe you could spend a little bit of time talking about toxicity and, are you at risk for toxicity? Which there are certain vitamins and minerals that can be toxic, especially if you are taking multivitamin supplements. If you have any questions on your third portfolio assignment, please let me know for sure. Hopefully that better explains the instructions, but maybe some of you guys were a little bit confused because the instructions for portfolio assignment number 3 were just a little bit different from the past 2 portfolio assignments. But you're basically just answering those questions to the micronutrients and water worksheet in an essay form. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully you'll get a lot out of analyzing your own intake. I mean, me as a dietitian, I'm always curious to see, oh, well, what foods offer what nutrients, and am I getting enough of this? Am I getting too much of that? So hopefully you'll enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I'll be in touch with you guys soon.